Always. Sure. I got it. Red. All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. And I'd like to thank all of the football teams, the student athletes, the coaches, and obviously the media for coming to our annual high school football media day. My name is Clay Mercer. I'll be the moderator, moving everybody through. This should be a really, really good event. I appreciate all of you for coming and previewing the upcoming 2023-24 season. Just to give you a little bit of information very quickly, if anyone needs a restroom, it is right outside of this door. If you could make your way here, it's to the left for the men. If you do need to go to the restroom, we're going to bring each team up, and of course, head coaches, when you do make your way here to the podium, we would like for you to go ahead and preview. Actually, go ahead and give a recap, really, of what took place last season, and then we'll get ready to preview the upcoming season also. We also want to say hello to everyone who's listening or watching actually on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you all for watching on the stream. Anyone who is watching, if you have any questions, you can plug them into the chat of the YouTube, and we'll ask those questions to the coaches and teams as they make their way up. So today we're going to start off with bringing up to the stage here the Falcons of Bertie. I apologize about that. Of course, the Falcons last season 4-7 overall, 3-3 in the conference. Head coach of the Falcons is Mr. Darius Weston. Coach Weston, welcome to the High School Football Media Day. Obviously, a Bertie alum and a mighty Viking, so I can say welcome home. I know you took the team on campus and showed them around. So, how was their expedition as you took them around? How did it feel to be back on campus and to see some of the new things that are happening here on the campus?
First and foremost, thank you for having me and my fellow players here today. Just going around campus, coming from when I got here in 2009 until now, it's a big change and a big difference. You know, the campus is expanding, and how I was expressing to them is a lot of stuff that's there now wasn't there when I got here. So the campus actually looked good. You know, for me, I'm trying to get everybody to come here. You know, because this is home for me. You know, and it feels good to be back home, whether it's ECSU or Bertie County.
As a first-year head coach here at Bertie, I think everybody wants to know kind of what your mentality is when it comes to what you want the football team to look like on the field. So, what can we expect to see from the Falcons this upcoming season?
So we can expect from the Falcons is speed, athleticism, because that's one thing Bertie County always had, which was athletes. Going back to 95, 2000, even when I was in high school, one thing Bertie High School always had was the athletes, to put them in space and let them work. So to see what the Bertie Falcons have this year, you would see, like I said, speed, athleticism, discipline. You know, because one thing that wins games is discipline. So we're going to enforce that as much as possible. You know, because one thing that all these kids looking to do is get recruited. So when recruits come and see you, they want to see how hard you work. They want to see, are you listening to your coaches, being coachable and disciplined? Because once you go to the next level, you don't have no parents. So that's the main thing that I'm trying to enforce, and that you will see the difference from last year.
You talk about your experience, obviously, at ECSU playing football. That experience, how can you use that and infuse it to what you do day in and day out on the field of practicing and getting the team prepared? How can you use your experience and then even some of the experiences of some of your teammates to help enhance what Bertie brings to the table?
With that experience, you know, most of that comes from, you know, the winning mentality that I always carried from the time I was in Pee Wee League up until that college experience. You know, so transitioning from Pee Wee League to middle school to high school to college, you know, I seen what it takes in order to win. You know, whether it's working out, whether it's in the classroom, and even off the field, you know, with community service and putting yourself out there so the community can see. All that plays a part into being a successful program. So just learning that from all phases, you know, so that's what I'm trying to implement to them. You know, this how it works. Because once you do the right thing, everything else will fall into place once you get on the field.
Obviously, your first year as a new coach, head coach at Bertie, you got
Yes,
a
sir.
coaching staff too. Talk a little bit about the coaching staff that you're bringing to.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is my first year coaching. So all of my coaches that I actually have on staff, you know, play at the next level. Whether it's Gregory Williams, which is my defensive coordinator, he played at Elizabeth City State. He played under Coach Marcus Hilliard. I have Casey Owens, which is my assistant head coach. He played at Elizabeth City State. He played receiver here. You know, he played at Bertie High School. I have Devin Saunders, offensive line, defensive line coach, which he started at Chowan. You know, bringing in the old head, which a lot of people around, you know, the 252 know, Coach Calvin Moore.
Yeah.
You know, bringing that military experience. You know, he was my coach when I was in high school. So, you know, all of that plays a factor into what we have, you know, because for me, I didn't want to have all young coaches. I had to bring that wisdom and knowledge around also, which come from Coach Calvin Moore. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's going to help us a lot because he was my offensive coordinator and my head basketball coach. We was winning, you know, so I want that around. The kids love, you know, the coaching staff. We push them, you know, and even because we had to play in parent conference last night, you know, and what I want the parents to do is believe and trust in our coaching staff because we're going to do what it takes.
You talked about some of the athletes, and Bertie is known for the athletes, and you got a couple with you right now. If you could introduce them to everyone.
Yeah, so right here to my right, I do have Kyle Pillman Holly, which is a rising senior. Played tight end, receiver, outside linebacker, and safety. And then beside him, I have Marquez Outlaw, which is a rising senior, offensive line and defensive line. These are my two main key players that's coming back. You know, they've been there since, you know, COVID, because, you know, the first year they didn't have a team because of COVID, but they've been around. So, and they can tell you the experience that I'm giving them is a little different. You know, it is a little different because I'm trying to win, you know, and I'm gonna do what it takes to win. So they are bonding to the program. You know, they got their teammates riding with them. So it's just a good feeling to come in, you know, my first year and having the players and the parents just actually believing in what I have coming.
Kai, I want to bring this to you as a senior. You've been through the trenches. You've done everything as far as what you've done up to this point, and now you got a new head coach here who has a few new practices, different things that he's trying to show you. Just talk about the differences between the past coach and this coach, and what you've seen that's different for the current coach that you have.
I seen my current coach has more experience than my last coach, even though my last coach he taught me like oh, my bad.
So you good.
My first coach, not to talk down on him, but it's like I got better experience with this coach I have now than my last coach, even though he taught me well. But I like this coach better because his experience in college and we play the same position.
Yeah, understood. And real quick, Marquez, you play both sides, and coach calls you the heart and soul of the line. And so that's a lot of pressure. How do you handle that pressure, and are you ready to kind of take that on your shoulders? As a senior, you're a leader, and so this is what you do. I'm sure you're ready for that.
Yes, sir. It's a lot of pressure, man. Yeah, but I depend on my teammates a lot. They help me, and I help them. It's mostly we as a team, so we build each other together, man. That's it. Yeah.
I'd like to open it up to the media. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to kind of speak, you could do so now. Coach Weston, final question for you here. As you start the season, you started off against the Eagles. Okay, so you're hitting the ground hard, but obviously you play these games to get the team prepared for what's to come. How does this benefit you, win or lose, when you play these tough teams early on?
Okay, it helps. It helps. And I always tell the guys, it helps in a tremendous way. When I was in school, went from '05 to '09, we was 3A. We played Wilson Hunt, Jage Rose, New Bern, South Central, and that right there was to get us ready for your conference and the playoffs. You always want to play the competition to see where you at and to build your team as a whole.
Yeah.
Because one thing that you want your team to face is adversity and see how it works. Because it's going to come a time where in the playoffs or the conference where you might get down, but how are you going to face adversity? So, facing Northeastern, coming back from when I played, it's going to be a tough challenge, but I'm always up for the challenge. Yeah, I'm always up for the challenge. Coach Moore, my guy, we've been rocking for a long time, whether it's AAU basketball and playing against each other. So, Coach Moore, I'm coming for him. He already know. But but I'm ready. I'm prepared. It just takes time. And just trying to bring these guys together as a team, as a unit. So we can get ready for August 18th.
Yeah. Season's almost about to start. That's Coach Weston and the Bertie Falcons. Let's have a round of applause for them. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Coming to the stage at this time are the Bruins of Camden County. With us, we have first-year head coach, Mr. Ernest Sutton. Coach Sutton, thank you so much for bringing the Bruins here. It's going to be an outstanding season, we know, and you've got experience on the field. So talk a little bit about what you're bringing to the table here for the Bruins and what you expect to see from your team in this upcoming season.
First of all, good morning to everybody. Thank you for having us here. As you said, this is my first time ever being a head coach, high school head coach. I've been coaching football since my oldest son, which is 27 now, was about 6 years old, playing for the Rampage. So I went from coaching Rampage to coaching JV football at Pasquotank County High School to coming over to Northeastern the last 3 years as the defensive coordinator. So, I've been around, but I haven't been in this capacity here. So it's going to be special. It's going to be an experience, but I'm up for the challenge.
How exciting is this for you? Again, head coach, first time, and you're going into a Bruins team that's talented. And so now you're just bringing everything that you have experienced and all your skill to what they already have. It seems like a marriage just made to happen. Should be wonderful.
It's kind of unique. To be honest with you, I didn't apply for the job. I didn't apply for the coaching job. I was actually going to sit out when my son Shamar finished high school. I told him about 4 years ago that when he finished, that I'm finished. And my plan was to be sitting home by the pool and traveling a little bit. But when a call on your life comes, you can't let it go to voicemail. And the call came to come over here to Camden, and the players actually came to the house. Some of the players came to the house and they were like, Coach Sutton, if you come, we're going to give it everything we got. I said, come here. They said, if you come and coach with us, we're going to give you everything that we have. And when that happens, you can't let these players down. So I'm excited to be here. The energy that is in Camden is amazing. The energy from the administration, from the superintendent, from the AD is off the charts. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Just from looking at how you brought the team here, you said, look, I don't necessarily want to wear the jersey. I want to make sure that our team is looking good and the way that you dress. It's a culture, and it's a winning culture that you're bringing to the table that you want to bring to Camden. When you look at this upcoming season, what can we expect to see? What type of coach will you be on that sideline for the Camden Bruins?
I'm a player's coach. I had my time in high school. I had my time playing DB here at Elizabeth City State University. So I had my time. So it's their time now. So I'm a player's coach. So, and they work hard. We're gonna have discipline. We're gonna get after it. And my word for them all year is to finish. We don't really have a lot of depth, but we have some ballers and we have some players, and we're gonna use those pieces.
The Bruins, obviously, Camden County, the community is just there for the entire team. They've always had that support. What have you felt since you were named as the head coach and in these weeks as we get ready for practice next week? What have you felt from the community? Have you felt that support? And how important has that been to what you're getting ready to do for the Bruins?
It's everything. The energy in Camden is everything. From the administrative offices to the businesses in the community. I think more people know me than I know them in Camden now. And that's a good thing. And they're looking forward to seeing these guys on the field using their gift. And I told them just get there early. This is going to be special this year.
I love it. You have a couple of student athletes with you. If you could introduce them to everyone.
This morning, actually, I brought a few with me, but two on stage, but I brought a few with me today because they all work hard and they all have that work ethic. So I wanted them to be a part of what we have here today. This morning on stage with me is Mr. Jerron Pendleton. He's a rising senior. He's our quarterback. He played quarterback last year, but this year when I came in, I told him that he's going to be a hybrid player this year. He's going to play in multiple positions, and I think he's going to do well for us. And our upcoming junior, Mr. Riley Springer, he's our QB. We're gonna have a two quarterback system this year, and they're up for the challenge.
So, Jerron, I'll come to you first, and you talk about Coach Sutton, and he's a brand new coach, and so what have you noticed as far as a change and just overall what he has brought to the table? Have you noticed a big change, and do you see success coming from this change for the Bruins?
Yeah, I feel like the energy is like way different since now like Coach Sutton came here, and yeah, like it's just energy. Our team, we're gonna be good this year. Jeez, oh my God, it's hard.
so, I'll come to you, and I'll talk a little bit about what you've experienced over the years. Obviously, new coach, there's some new changes that have happened. But has the team embraced these changes, and do you expect to see some success on the field coming up this season too?
Yes, sir, I do. This season, we really picked up the playbook really quick. By the first day, we learned like 5 new plays and formations already on the first day. Coach Sutton's brought something new to this team. We have more energy, more power, more strength, more work ethic.
So I'll open it up to the media. If you have any questions, Coach Sutton and the Bruins, please do so now.
Yes, sir. The two students.
What I'm looking forward to this year is just playing football, getting into those games. First game's gonna be exciting, real tough game. I'm also excited to go on the trips to the away games. Away games are always the fun games, to me at least. That's all I have to say.
Pretty much what he said. Three-headed goats. We should be four now this year.
Is it on? Is it on? Check. Go ahead.
New players. Since you've been hired, how's like adjusting to the players in the team? How well you guys know them? How you know them before you hired?
I live in Camden. So I've known these guys for a while. That actually about 70% of the guys on my team should be on my taxes, because they've been at my house for the last 4 years, 5 years, probably more than that. At my house already. So we've had a relationship before I came here to Camden. So it was just getting adjusted to the way that I am. I'm wired. The administration had to get adjusted to the way I am because, as I told them when they hired me, I come as I am. I am who I am, and who I'm not, I'll never be. So when we came in, I mean, it's just getting small adjustments, but they've been there, and the coaches that were here, that was here with them before I got here, already had them working. So all I had to do was step in and just bring the blueprint for what we wanted for them, but they were already working.
Hello? Hello? I don't know what's going on with that.
Last year, how are you able to balance what you're going to bring to the table as a coach versus what Sophia
I was blessed. I inherited from my system that I run. I inherited an awesome O line, and he built that O line for us, O line, D line, and we're gonna run behind it a lot this year. And I normally coach DBs, but this year I'm coaching the O line because I need them to have a certain mentality. So I'm coaching the O line this year, and I inherited that from Sophia, the coach that left last year. So I've been blessed. I'm in a good position. I'm sorry, say that again. Um, I have a Jerron does it all. From his arm to his legs. So we can really use him in our system. Riley is not as good as a runner as Jerron, but he has a rocket and he's smart. They are both intelligent quarterbacks, and for our system, you have to be intelligent to run this system. And um, I saw Riley when I came in. In my head, I said Jerron is going to be our QB for the year. But then we got to work, and I said Jerron. I had to pull Jerron. I said Jerron, you know what I'm about to do, don't you? He said I already know, and he's really stepped up. So I think we're gonna be okay. For me, it's my motivation. My motivation. I really don't operate off motivation, man. I operate off work ethic and vision. My vision for this team is to see them excel not only on the field but off the field. Um, and I want to prepare them not only for football but for life. And I tell them all the time. I know a lot of coaches say they love football. I don't love football. I love these guys more than I love football. The X's and O's that take care of itself, but my relationship and my with these guys is more important to me than X's and O's.
If we have no more questions, I want to thank first year head coach Ernest Sutton and the Camden Bruins. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Coming up to the stage are the Knights of Currituck County. Currituck County Knights last season 6-5 overall, 4-3 in the conference. Coach Paul Bossy, thank you so much for returning to the annual high school football media day. So much to talk about, but if you could just kind of recap last season, what you learned about your team from last season, and some changes that you'll make to make sure that this season is more successful.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having us. It's been an honor for you guys hosting this event and having the kids get the experience of coming here. Last year's season, well, didn't go the way we expected. Injuries, and what I've learned is, when the injuries hit, bad things happen. And we were rolling pretty good. We were in a lot of we played a tough schedule. We The games that we lost, we were right in those games, and a couple of the games we took some serious injuries. Last game of the year, we lost a couple of key players going into the playoffs. In first round of the playoffs, we had 5 starters out. 3 of them were all conference starters, and one of them is still out for this year as well. So the injury key is the key thing for us to stay healthy. We don't have a lot of depth behind that first group of guys, so we work hard. We push to failure every day, and the team is a solid team. We got a veteran team coming back this year. We lost 3 on the offense, 3 in the defense. Again, the injury thing's going to be a big deal, and right now we're already dealing with injuries. So we just gotta pray for the best and go out there, keep working hard, next man up.
I guess I was going to ask you also about the off season so far. How has it been for the players, getting them prepared, and of course practice starting next week?
We had a real good off season. We started back in March and did some things in March, April, May. Took a little time off right before the exams and all. And we've had a great summer. We've had roughly 70 to 80 kids coming out over the course of the summer. Not every night, but 70, 80 kids total be coming out. I don't know what's going to show up on the first. New kids to the county. Currituck County is growing. So every year, the first of the football people show up and didn't know that we had summer workouts. But we've had a good summer workout. We did a lot of 7-on-7, more than we have done in the last couple of years, to see what kind of kids we're working with. And yeah, we're excited. It should be an eventful season. It could be a very good season for us. Injuries happen, so we just praying for the best and go out there and do our best.
Not much you can do with the injuries. You
Right.
just got to take it. So you have a couple of student athletes with you. If
Yes.
you could introduce them.
All right, we have David Duke to my right. He's a senior wide receiver. Eli Binkley, junior middle linebacker.
Senior leadership is so important to the team. I'll bring this question to you. You've been through it now. This is your senior year coming up. What are your expectations for the Currituck Knights this season? Obviously, everyone wants to win, but what changes can you see from last season to this season that can give that success to the Knights in Barco?
So really the changes from last season to this season, I mean, we only lost a few players on each side of the ball. Like Coach Bossy said, we lost 3 players on each side of the ball. So we have some experience coming back. We got 4 out of 5 of our linemen coming back. I think it's going to be a good year. We got, like I said, experience that helps, and just I think we'll be pretty good this season.
I'm going to send it to the media right now. If you have any questions, please ask them at this time.
What about storage plan graduates?
Devin Duke played quarterback for us pretty much most of all last year. RJ got hurt. I think it was the second game of the year or third game of the year, and he was out for almost the whole year. He came back against Northeastern. It was the second to last game of the year. It's tough to lose a guy like RJ. RJ was a very universal player. We can put him at slot. We can put him at receiver. He played some defense. I mean, he was an awesome player, and it's tough to lose a guy like that. But Devin did a great job for us. And he was only a sophomore last year. He's a big kid. He's 6'3", and he had that whole year of experience under his belt. So he's looking really good in this preseason right now. So we're expecting big things from him. Yes. The biggest leap is the experience. This is the best group of kids I've had at Currituck, and I've been there since 2003, 4. And since then, like I haven't always, I just took on the head job 6 years ago, but I've been in and out of the program with different coaches, and I can tell you right now, this is the best group of athletes we've had. This line is a really good line. I'm not gonna say it's the best line. We had a really good line 5 years ago when I took over the program. We had a really outstanding line, but this line is every bit as good as them. 4 of the 5 linemen are back. And the one kid, we're losing Ben Thibodeau, who was a great, tremendous leader. He graduated, but the 6-man CJ, he's stepping right up. It's a big line. It's probably our biggest line. They're probably averaging overall 4 of the 5 kids 275 or better. Our center's about 220. So it's a good size line. In our skilled positions, we got the most speed we've ever had. Currituck hasn't always had a lot of speed, but these guys have been working hard, and we've got a group of good athletes right now. But again, a couple are hurt right now. Injuries will take its toll. We'll see what happens. Everybody has to deal with it. I'm not the only one. Every coach in here, I'm sure they could have 1 or 2 kids out right now hurt. But this from last year to this year, we've got that extra year of experience, that extra year of confidence, that extra year of working out and getting stronger, that extra year of getting faster. So we're expecting a big leap. We'll see how it plays out. Everybody else is working hard too, and they're all getting bigger, faster, stronger as well. So it's all about executing those X's and O's and excelling in all 3 phases of the game.
We don't have any other questions, Coach. I want to bring this to you because, again, as you stated, you've been at Currituck for a while, and so you've seen how players and you coached at this level for a while now. So obviously, the NCHSAA approved NIL for student athletes. Have you done anything within the program to prepare the students and to teach them a little bit about NIL, and how much of an impact do you believe that will have on future coaching that you'll have to do at Currituck?
We haven't got involved with that at all. I don't believe in it. I really don't like it. I think it's going to change sports for the worse in the colleges level. I don't dabble in it. I don't talk about it. I don't do anything with it. I don't bring it up to my kids. It's something I don't believe in, and I don't really want to be involved in it. So,
Understood. That's Paul Bossy, head coach of the Currituck County Knights. Have a round of applause for them. Thank you, Coach. Coming to the stage at this time, we have the Bears of Hertford County. Hertford County last season, successful year, 11-2 overall, 6-1 in the conference. Defensive coordinator Orrin Gatlin is with us right now. Coach, thank you for bringing the team here. We're excited to see what's to come this season. Very successful season, as we talked about it before, and obviously the offense, they played at a very high level. You averaged about 47 points per game, if I can remember correctly. And, obviously your offense, the defense needs to match that in order to have success. So that's your wheelhouse right there. When you look at the team coming up this year, do you believe you have the tools on both sides of the field, especially on the defensive side, to exceed last season's success?
First, I'd like to say good morning to everyone. Yes, it's a real simple answer. Yes, last year was our first year that we actually switched our defensive style to a different set as of our last head coach wanted to do. That wasn't my core defense. I will say we'll implement our same defense that we did in the year of 18-19, which is one of the top defenses in our conference, and the following years before that, and the year after that. The key pieces on both sides of the ball will change a lot more because we have versatile players. And if you're an athlete, you should play on both sides of the ball, and we're going to definitely make sure that happens this year.
Obviously, I think the big news is just going to be a little bit different, not seeing Coach Sachs be on the sidelines. But how have you and the rest of the coaching staff kind of helped the team overall during this transition period as you get ready to name your next head coach?
All summer, we've been working on structure and discipline with him here. And once he left, we've been working on structure and discipline with that. We met with him once he told us the news. Then we had a separate meeting the very next day to what we need to do to make sure we can keep them mentally focused and continue things. We've been striving, making sure they're staying focused with us.
Yeah. Outstanding. You got a couple of student athletes with you. If you could introduce them to everyone.
As you may know, number switch though. Right to the next to me is Kevion Rogers, our quarterback. Next to him is our middle linebacker, Devontae Cofield.
So wonderful. And Kevion, I'll bring this to you. Starting off, obviously, pass for over 30 touchdowns. That's a lot. Over 2,300 yards passing, and you did your thing, running the ball too. The importance to you of being that two-way player and how important it is for the success for the Bears. I think it's just so essential, and I think you see that also. Talk about what you've done in the off season to make sure that you are better on the field this season than you were even last season.
Working harder, for real. Trying to improve on my what's the name?
Yeah.
The expectations are obviously there. People know what you can do on the field. So now it's like that target is on you. People are going to set their defenses up. It's just going to be a little bit tougher. Do you feel like you're prepared for what's to come this season?
Yeah, we prepared in the off season, but working hard. Everybody striving for great.
Yeah. And Devontae, we talk about, at your position at linebacker and how important that position is. Just talk about what improvements you want to see, not only from the line, but obviously from the team this year to make sure that y'all can get the championship this year coming up.
I mean, I want my boys to continue to stay in the weight room for this season, working hard, continue to be competitive, and to keep pushing to the end of the game. We got to keep going, get stops, more stops, and stay more disciplined. We will do that.
We'll leave it up open to the media right now. If you have any questions, please do so.
That actually been a serious questions for this off season. Colleges have been speaking to him on different spots all over the field. This summer, actually, he's been playing as my safety, and he may get a little bit in action inside the box too, at outside linebacker. Tabulate. Our goal for this year is to change the culture and to have a strong mentality, be competitive and be great.
We have no other questions. Thank you so much, Coach Gatlin, for bringing the squad. That's the Hertford County Bears. Thank you so much. Coming to the stage, we have the aces of John A. Holmes. Aces last season, 8-4 overall, 5-2 in the conference. Coach, if you could introduce yourself and everyone else here who was with you today.
First, we say good morning to everybody. We're just so glad to be here. Glad for the invite. Coach Hargett is not here with us today. He had to be out of town. I'm Coach Andy Downing, coach defensive backs on the defensive side of the football. With me, we have to my immediate right, Devon Ward, and he's a middle linebacker, running back. And next to him is John Spears. John is our slot receiver and defensive back.
Just if you kind of take us back to last season and how the experience was for the players and yourself, and just kind of what you learned from last season that'll help you with success this season coming up.
Going back a little to last season, we had a pretty good year. Didn't finish quite as well as we wanted to or where we wanted to during the course of the year. We lost 4 games by a total of 21 points. Lost by 2 here, 3 there, or whatever. But we had a really good season. Kids played well, played hard, did a good job for us. Um, Coach Hoggett always has our group prepared and ready to play, so they came out and played well. Um, Coming into this year, we've had a really good spring, had a good summer thus far, and be ready to start the season on Monday. So we'll get them ready, get them prepared, and we'll see how it goes. We're not a very big squad, but our kids work hard and do what they need to do.
I'm gonna open it up to the media. Start off with questions if you have any.
What's that?
Right now, DJ left, and DJ did a really good job for us last year. But right now, we got a sophomore kid up right now coming up, and he looked pretty good thus far. So he's playing well, and hopefully we got another kid that's gonna back him up and be in place. That's a junior. So we got everything in place. So hopefully the quarterback situation be well.
What's the message regarding that?
Right. We got to make sure that we stay focused during the course of games, and we got to finish well. Um, One of the big improvements, I think we're going to be a little better on defense this year. We gave up a lot of yards and gave up a lot of points during the course of the season. Offensively, our offense was good, scored a lot of points. So, excuse me, hopefully defensively, we're going to be a little better and get some more stops. I think our biggest strength this year is going to be our offensively. I think our running backs, our run game, we got a couple of really good running backs that's going to fill in, step up. I think they're going to do well. And then I think on defense, our back seven is going to be good. We're going to be pretty good in the back seven, linebackers and defensive backs. Um, from last year to this year, I think last year we were not as good defensively in the back seven. I thought our defensive line was pretty good last year, but on the back end, we gave up a lot and didn't do it. So we're going to be improved there, I believe, and going to do a much better job on the back end. Offensively, I think we've got some kids up front that's going to do a really good job on the offensive line, and hopefully the backs will do well because we got some good running backs.
Um, my work ethic in the weight room, I'm getting faster and stronger, and just bringing my strength to the team. See what I can do.
On field work, like doing drills with the team, and like he said, putting in the work in the weight room.
We don't have any other questions. That's the Edenton
Oh,
Aces, the Johnny
okay.
Holmes Aces. We have no.
Yeah, real quick before we
Yes,
leave,
please.
I do want to say that one big difference going to be in this year's team also is these two guys right here. They're going to be our leaders this year. They stepping up and they're going to lead our team a little bit different and a little bit better. So I think it's going to be a big difference with that.
Well, thanks. So the Aces of Johnny Holmes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'd like to bring to the stage the Redskins of Manteo. And as Manteo makes their way to the stage, again, for everyone that's watching on our YouTube channel, if you have any questions, please type them into the chat. We'll ask those questions as soon as we receive them. Head coach of Manteo, Coach Brian Emery, thank you so much for bringing the squad as you always do. The Redskins last season, obviously not the season that you wanted, but again, every season is a chance to get better. If you could just recap what you learned from the team last season and what we can expect to see this season as far as any changes from the two.
Yeah, last season, first year as head coach, so uh, you start to find out all the things that you don't ever have to deal with as an assistant coach. So it's a whirlwind of a year for sure. And I think there's a little more confidence this year from myself. I think from our players as well. I think the biggest thing is now we have a year where I know our players a lot better, and I think they also know our coaching staff a lot better. Our entire coaching staff is coming back and still together, which is, I think is another positive thing. But we have a lot of returning players as well, and I think just having a year to experience that and kind of know what to expect now coming into year two, I think they kind of understand where we want to get to, and they've been doing a great job of just putting their heads down, working, and coming in every day.
As you said, your second year coming up here as head coach, and I think every year coaches try to get better and better themselves. What have you done personally to make yourself a better coach for the players?
Well, I think number one is we talk about how we want to improve, and the best way that I think we've kind of explained it and figured it out is, if you have a family member, let's say a cousin or a niece or a nephew, and you don't see them for a long time, all of a sudden at Christmas they've grown a couple inches, and you say, "Wow, look how much you've grown this past year." And when you say that to mom and dad, they kind of look at you funny, right? You don't really notice that growth every single day, but someone who hasn't seen you for a year will say, "Wow, look how much you've grown." And that's kind of the way we've gone about it is, look, you're not necessarily going to see your individual growth or our team growth from one day to the next, but you will see it over months, and you will see it from one year to the next. And I mean, just in our max outs in the weight room yesterday, we had guys put up great numbers just from the spring numbers, and we've had guys make a lot of improvements, and all of a sudden they kind of got that big growth noticement, but they've been working every day for it. So I think that's our big thing. That's what we want to accomplish in practice. That's what we want to accomplish in drills. And they're not necessarily going to see it the next day, but they will see it as it continues to build.
You brought a couple of student athletes with you. If you could introduce them to them.
Yeah. My immediate right is Noah Blaylock, was an all-conference offensive lineman for us last year, returning as a senior. And at the end of the table is Joseph Rainey, plays tight end, also a rising senior. And these two guys, Noah was elected as a captain. We allow our players to elect our captains. Noah was elected last year as a junior as a captain for the team. And I'm going to take a guess here that probably both of them will be elected this year. Just two really good guys. They're always working. I mean, we get up and do our workouts at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think either one of them stop till 10 or 11 at night with going to work or doing all the things they do throughout the day. So they come in, they work hard, and these are two guys that lead a lot by example and showing up, and they don't really say a whole lot, but when they speak, everybody listens, and that's got a lot of power to it.
It's good. Noah, I'll bring this to you. You talk about leadership, and Coach says when you speak, the players are listening. They're looking up to you all to lead them. Talk about a little bit your off season and what you've done this off season to prepare yourself for the upcoming season.
Yeah, we've been big in the weight room this year. A lot of players actually showing up, really working. Me and another senior have been kind of leading by example like that. Everybody just working hard, really. I mean, running 40s, just bigger, faster, stronger.
Your accolades, it kind of puts the target on your back too. People know they got to kind of prepare for you and what you bring to the table, but you lead by example. That's what Coach pretty much said. How important is that to you, not only to verbally lead, but to go out there on the field and show it too?
Very important. I had a leader my freshman year I looked up to, and he taught me how to play, and it meant a lot. And I saw other people following and just improving as a team. So me being able to lead really helps our team.
Joseph, same thing for you. Obviously, Coach said both of you pretty much lead by example. What are you expecting to see this season that may be a little bit different from last season, and you can get the success that you're looking for out there this year?
I'm expecting to see improvement on every level of the game. We're all getting back in there for our second year, getting better, faster, stronger, like Noah said, getting to learn the playbook, new head coach, new offense, new defense, getting just better on every level.
Open it up to the media. If you have any questions, you can ask them now.
Say that again. Best describes me. I mean, I was just as an athlete, I was always I played quarterback, I played point guard, and all that stuff, and I was always I was never the best athlete, I was never the fastest, but what I could do is I could think, and I could always keep my teammates bonded together as a team. And I think that's probably the best thing that I'm trying to get with them is that we can play better as a team and that you have more success as a team. And I thought we had a great example of that actually this spring. Our girls soccer team went and played in the state championship and played against a team who had Division I players, and they played well as a team and ended up winning the state championship. And I brought that right home, and I said, look at all the things you can accomplish when you play together, and not worry about what your self is or your stats or this and that. Go play as a team and bond together, and good things will happen for you. And I think that's something that we've all tried to work on a little bit more this year.
We got some returning players that I'm really excited to play with. Still got some size, so I'm really excited to really play this year. It's just gonna be fun and keep on moving.
Coach, I want to bring this question to you, and it's just something that came to my mind. And you talked a little bit about, your time basketball and playing different sports. A lot of people that I've had conversations with really over the past couple of years say it's to the detriment when you have student athletes that play 2 or 3 different sports. And you look at some of the other teams, maybe on the west side of the state that may play, you have one player just playing football or one player just playing basketball, and they focus on that all year long. Do you think that a player, student athlete playing 2 or 3 different sports takes away from where they could excel? And they can enhance their skill, or do you think that's just kind of what we are? That's what we deal with here in Northeast North Carolina.
Just generally in in the eastern side of the state, I think we do have a lot of players that play different sports. For us, as an athletic program at Manteo, we're a smaller school, so we see a lot of it as well. The benefit that I see from it is almost every college coach that I talk to, they ask what other sports they play, and the conversations that I've had with them is they want competitors. And one thing that I've very recently started to heard is concerns about wearing out if you specify on one sport. How if a kid's only playing baseball all year round, eventually that shoulder's going to give out or the elbow's going to give out. So I think playing multiple sports makes you a better athlete. Man, take some of the greatest athletes that have ever played sport. Bo Jackson was a multiple sport athlete. Michael Jordan was a multiple sport athlete. LeBron played football in high school. So I think true athletes and true competitors play multiple sports in order to keep that edge going and develop themselves better as an overall athlete. And that helps you in each of those sports that you do play. So I encourage all of our guys to wrestle, to play basketball, run track. I mean, go do it all. And when football hits, we'll get on football and we'll be there in the weight room. But go compete and figure out how to compete in different ways, because there's a lot of challenges that come up in every sport, and you got to go through those things in order to learn how to overcome them.
We don't have any other questions. Coach Emery and the Manteo Redskins, thank you so much for making your way here from the OBX, and
Absolutely.
we appreciate you. Good luck this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to bring to the stage the Eagles of Northeastern. Northeastern Eagles 9-3 overall last season, undefeated in the conference. Head coach Antonio Moore, as always, thank you so much for making your presence felt here at
I appreciate it,
Football
Clay.
Media Day. We really appreciate it. And Coach, another year for an opportunity to success. And I know that it's all about really championships. It's all it's about for Northeastern. It's always something that the players look forward to. I know y'all been working hard. I've been driving by. I see you all out there working hard in that heat. That 90-degree heat. Y'all are working, getting prepared for the season. But let's recap a little bit of last season and kind of your experience with the team from last year and what we can expect to see from the team this year.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for being here today. I don't take that lightly. I'd like to thank you, Clay, WRVS, for hosting this event. It's much needed in our area. Since you've been doing it, I've been looking forward to this every year. Last year was a different year for Northeastern High School. we had like 6 starters out the whole entire year, and 2 of the guys over here was out pretty much the whole year. One was out the whole year, and Devon Bell at the end, he didn't play but 3 games the whole season. And we was very young last year. We had 7 sophomores starting offensive defensively, which is I never been through that since I've been at Northeastern High School. It was like coaching JV football again. So by the end of the year, those guys really growed up, and it's fun, recapping, going back, looking at those guys from the beginning to the end, how the growth of us playing Wallace Rose Hill in the 3rd round and up 19-0 with those 7 sophomores competing at a high level, and starting in the spring, going all the way through the summer, watching those sophomores this year become juniors that actually look like seniors. And so I'm really excited this year to get back to having some experience and playing some football.
So one of the things you just spoke on, a youthful team, and obviously that bodes well for you in the future because they gain that experience. But do you expect to see that jump, even from your sophomores to their junior year? What are you expecting to see this season from those players?
Well, hell, I've seen it already. We start in June, and we go to at least 6 or 7 camps in June, and I saw those guys just leap this summer, and I know they are ready to play football. Now, we did a lot of 7-on-7, took them to a lot of lineman camps, and we practice every day. And we did something different this year. We actually practiced in helmet and shoulder pads the whole spring and summer. So we could just take off August the 1st and get ready to play some football. But I could see us having a really better year this year than we did last year, and that's tough to say because we went 9-3 last year. But the standards of Northeastern going 9-3 in this community doesn't set too well. 9-3 to me, when I looked at the situation that we had, 6 starters out, 7 sophomores, that's pretty daggone good. And I let the kids know that. But I think this year they expect to be a lot better than we were last year.
You talk about the expectations from the community for Northeastern, 9-3. What you look at it, and that's what they expect. They expect you to be better than that. You dealt with it year in and year out, though. Personally,
yes.
How do you handle that? I mean, again, the pressure from the community here in Elizabeth City for you to be great every year. How difficult is that to handle?
Well, if I was a young coach, it'd be difficult. But I've been in it 20 years, so that's the expectation, and I understand. They want to win like we want to win. When they come to a game and we lose a big game, they feel the same way we do. I mean, they're not out there every day practicing in that hot sun, just on a day-to-day grind. So they really don't understand all the details. But I do understand how they feel, and I don't take it personally.
Coach, you have a few student athletes here with you. If you could introduce them.
Yeah, to my right, I have Trey Jones, my quarterback. I had Karin Armstrong, one of my linebackers. I have Devon Bell, one of my running backs, linebackers.
I'd like to open it up to the media. If you have any questions, please ask them now.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was really exciting. I mean, that was one of the most exciting years because of the youth and because of we having 6 starters out the whole season. Hertford County, we went in Hertford County, was a really good team, and we were fortunate enough to come out of there, which I thought that was the turning point of the season when the young guys really stepped up and became a varsity football player than a JV football player. But it was really exciting, and the guys they worked real hard. But the thing about my guys at Northeastern High School, the expectation is high, and on a yearly basis, that's what they look for. They look for to have a good non-conference. They look for to compete for a conference championship, and then try to compete for a state championship. Oh yeah, Trey Jones is gonna be my quarterback. Trey Jones, smart, heady. He's not gonna make too many mistakes. He's one thing I can say about Trey, he's a serious type dude. You see how he look right now? That's the first time I seen him smile in the months. But he's a serious type dude, and he takes it personal. And he has a good relationship with God. And I tell him all the time, when you do right and you do things right, and you be a good person, good things are gonna happen to you. And one thing about him, that's why I can say good things are gonna happen to him. And he has a lot of pressure on him because Northeastern quarterbacks are usually competing for a conference player of the year. I would say growth. That's the biggest leap. These guys gonna be a lot older, and they're not sophomores anymore. They to me they upcoming seniors that happen to be juniors. The biggest leap is growth. Those I mean, we grow from the beginning of last year, from being babies, baby eagles to being eagles. Now this year they're eagles, so it's only gonna get better.
Can you say that one more time? Well, the biggest growth is coming together as a team. Like the camps get us closer or whatever. Sometimes we start off camp bad, but by the end of the camp, we get better, grow as a team. We be smarter, be coachable, and we get better as a team by like even during the off period, like the dead period, we come together with our position and get better, compete with each other, and get better as a team.
Excuse me. We talk championship every year. I mean, that's the first thing we say. I mean, we come in, and I hate to say this, but it's either championship or bust for us because we've been there too many times. We've been to the Eastern Region Final 7 times in the last 10 years. We've been to the state championship 3 times. So it comes to a point where it's championship or bust. So I would say we refocus this year. Our goal is one game at a time. And, we want to get better each game. We're gonna talk, and then we're gonna see what the end's gonna be. But get better each game.
Is this a personal question or as a team? I say as a team, our biggest hurdle is going to be our mentality. Last year, a lot of us, we start losing, everybody start getting down, we start forgetting how to play, forgetting to make plays. I think this year, we've been showing a lot of growth mentally. We've been coming out working without any coach's help. We've been coming out doing what we got to do. So like mentally, we're going to be a lot stronger.
I have a quick question from one of our watchers on our YouTube channel, and how any of the players to answer this question. It's just a simple question, actually. What sets your team apart from the competitors?
What sets us apart from everybody else?
We we work hard. We got a different mentality. Like we don't we look up the road. Like we don't surround ourselves like just around here. Like we I don't know. Like we just work harder than everybody. Like we don't think about nobody around here. Like we try to look up the road as far as like state championship wise. Like we don't. We take it week by week, but we looking like to win that state championship. Like we not worried about nobody in the conference or nothing like that. We looking for that state championship.
It's really what he said. He ain't really worried about a conference for it. We were trying to get to the state championship. We got the talent. We got young players coming back. We were a lot of sophomores last year. We got a lot of experience, especially me being thrown in there early.
them early scrimmages against Life Christian. I ain't really had no experience, but that really got me right for this year.
And I just want to reiterate when they say not worrying about the conference, not to put anybody down because anybody can win the conference, and But I guess what they saying when you lose to Wallace Rose Hill 3 times to get to a state championship, that tends to stay on your mind a little bit. Wallace, so they looking up the road. I mean, because once we leave our conference, if you come in first, second, third, or whatever, you go into the playoffs. So 9 times out of 10, you're gonna make the playoffs. So you're looking up the road. They looking up the road to those teams that really beat them in the past 10 years.
Coach, final question for you. And again, you've been doing this for a long time now, and you've seen players come and go. NIL, I think that's something that a lot of people are asking about, and I just want to bring it to you because you've been through it. And how has it impacted the team as of yet? And are you preparing your players for what NIL can bring to the table?
Well, we had talked about that yet, and by the time that get here, I'll probably be out of the game. I don't want to have to deal with that. I mean, it's two sides to it. I mean, to be honest with you, two sides to it. These guys, I really support the athlete, because they don't get home to 9, 10 o'clock at night. They go by higher standards sometimes than a regular student. When we play in a playoff game and you can't get a seat in the stadium, but then some of them guys can't buy a pair of shoes. So, I see both sides of it, The only and that's the positive side, they can get some money in their pocket because everybody don't have it. Like everybody has different situations. But then on the other hand, it ruins a kid because then if you get on them about something and they don't like it, they can either go to the next county, go to the next state, and instead of staying there sticking it out and like they say, getting a little mentally tougher. So I really don't have much of an opinion on it. I mean, either or. But I'm serious about this. If it gets here in the next 2 or 3 years, I'll probably be out of there.
We'll leave it right there. That's Coach Antonio Moore and the Northeastern Eagles. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming to the stage next, we have the Panthers of Pasquotank County. With us is assistant head coach Javon Taylor. Coach, thank you so much for bringing the team with us here. And Panthers 3-7 last season, 2-5 overall. Coach, if you could just take a little bit of time and just kind of talk a little bit about the offseason, how it's been for the team so far.
Good morning. Off season has been good for us. Really been working hard. Love the numbers that we're getting. Kids have really put in a lot of work. At the end of last year, I could start seeing the turnaround at Pasquotank County High School. Winning a few games last year really helped. Year before, going 0-8, that hurts. That hurts you. But kids really been putting in that work all season, and we're excited.
Talk a little bit about how you've seen a little bit of a change in the off season as far as the mentality probably of the players and what they do day in and day out. You look back at last season, what changes do you have to see in order for the team to get the success that you're looking for?
Consistency, discipline. We got to be more disciplined, not just on the field, but in the classroom. We have to be disciplined. That's it.
You have a couple of student athletes with you. If you could introduce them.
Yeah, to my right, got Mitchell Manuel. He's a rising senior quarterback. Terrell Lewis, a rising junior defensive back.
And I'll send this one here to the media first before I go into any of my questions. If you have any questions, you can ask them now.
Well, last year we started the standard with those seniors winning some games. They started the standard. Our standard is higher, not just to be a doormat. Put it to you that way. We want to win and we want to compete at a high level. Winning, getting those 3 wins. I mean, that was really a big key in building. Those seniors really set the standard for these guys here to get that winning mentality back at Pasquotank County High School.
To the players, when you look back at last season, obviously, again, not the success that you wanted to see on the field, but just look at the off season. You've seen, again, he talked about it, how you kind of seen a change in some of the players, including probably yourselves. What have you done in the off season? What have you seen this off season that you feel like you will get that success this season?
I've seen a big change in just the mentality overall. Everyone is maturing, taking it more seriously. We have a goal for this year. We want to get to the playoffs. We want to compete with everyone, not just get ran over, steamrolled. The last 2 years have been disappointing. So we just want to pick it up, turn it up a couple notches.
Just a quick question. When you look at the team, obviously the conference is difficult, and every game that you play is a tough one. But you look at what they've done on the off season, you've seen the players, and again, that switch. It seems like it's flipped mentally and physically for your team. What are you expecting to see from this team during this season coming up?
Good. We doing good. Have a good mentality and everything, like going into games and stuff. Last year we didn't have that. We had it, but when we down by a couple points, we put our heads down and stuff like that. So have a good mentality.
Coach, from our YouTube channel, I'll ask this question. Obviously, the team 3-7 overall, 2-5 in the conference. When you look at what you're bringing to the table, especially in the conference, the record. Obviously, this is a question from the YouTube. It's just what do you expect the record to be? But I'm guessing, as always, we like to go undefeated. But you're expecting more wins in that column this season from what you've seen just in the off season so far.
Yes, we want to win. I mean, we want to win every conference game. I mean, if you don't want to win, I mean, why are we doing it? We want to win. So we want to win. We want to win and get to the playoffs. That's our goal.
You look at the student athletes. This is my final question for you, Coach. And the student athletes, you know what they do in the offseason to get themselves prepared. They're in the weight room. They're working on their skills. As far as the coaching staff, what have you and the rest of the coaching staff done during the offseason to better yourselves and make sure that y'all are prepared to give the team everything you can?
Well, we've had a little bit of a turnover at the coaching staff, but the coaches that we got now, we've come together, bonding as a brotherhood, even going to doing some coaches clinics. I think that helps out a lot, learning each other. So we're ready to work.
As assistant head coach, Coach Taylor, and the Panthers of Pasquotank County. Coach, thank you so much. Good luck this season. Coming to the stage next are the Pirates of Perquimans. With us today is the head coach of the Pirates, Coach Ian Rapinick. The Pirates 4-9 last season, 2-4 overall. Coach, obviously not the season that the Pirates wanted, but it's another chance this season to get better and capitalize off of what you all learned from last season. Let's first talk a little bit about last season and what you learned from your team and everything that you learned, what we can expect to see on the field this season.
Right, absolutely. I mean, as a first year head coach, there's a lot of changes. Right. We lost a lot of leadership off that team from the year before. Coach Ari was there for a while, so they got to know him really well. What we were able to do towards the end of last year, making it to the third round of the playoffs, after a not very good regular season, it made us as a coaching staff, kind of confirmed what we were doing was right. I think it got a lot of buy-in from the kids as well, because we were able to make a run and play really well on offense, but really and defensively, but really getting that buy-in from the kids to where what we're preaching as a coaching staff is gonna continue into this year as well. So obviously those 3 weeks of practice that we had that we, as some people say, weren't supposed to, was big with our schemes and things like that. But it really got the culture going in a way to where, we beat Wilson Prep and now they're starting to believe a little bit more. And then we beat East Columbus and they're starting to believe a little bit more, to where we're in a dogfight with North Moore in the third round. And obviously it didn't come out our way. So, being able to do that and get to know the kids better over those extra 3 weeks, I think is going to pay off a lot for us this season.
Even to get to that third round and the players to feel that type of success, I think it again helps that culture that you're trying to build at Perquimans. But obviously, coming in as a first-year coach, you got to kind of make that transition.
Right.
How difficult of a transition was it last year, and what benefits will you see from that this upcoming season?
It was tough. Like I said, a lot of that leadership from the year before. Amarion Hunter is a kid that's difficult to replace. Colby Brown is a kid who's difficult to replace. But the guys sitting here and other guys who have really bought into what we're doing. We're starting to get the leadership back going again. The culture's moving in an extremely positive direction. So like everybody here has said, when you get the culture going, then the stuff on the field on Friday night takes care of itself. So, we're really looking forward to this season. We're really looking forward to seeing these guys continue to grow and become more connected teammates and play for each other and really enjoy playing football again.
Please introduce your student athletes that you have with you.
So to my immediate right is quarterback Braylon Knapp, and to his right is DB wide receiver Keontae Foreman.
Open it up to the media. If you have any questions, you can ask them now.
The biggest thing that I saw, obviously we started to find our run game a lot. We with what we do in 1A football in Northeast North Carolina, we're kind of an anomaly, is what I tell people, because we're going to run spread. We're going to be 10 personnel, 0 personnel, 20 personnel, all that. And it's almost more difficult to prepare for us because so many people are, have 11 guys in the box and are running right at you. But the biggest and most important thing that we began to see I would say when we played Washington County after that is the kids really started to play together. They started to play for each other. They started to, I hate to use the word protect each other, but you could tell that they really, really enjoyed playing together. And that was the best thing to me that I saw, because X's and O's are on us as coaches, but the execution aspect of it and, the way they work for each other in a fourth quarter game is, completely on them. So when we started to do that, I knew that we were hitting stride at the right time, and I liked our chances, kind of going into the playoffs.
It just brings us a lot of confidence going into the next season. Just a lot more players wanting to play now, and just a lot more leadership on the team now. A lot more guys are speaking up and wanting to try.
Yeah, like you said, like got to continue to lead and continue to fight.
They stepped up a lot. Uh, we lost one of the best receivers in the conference, I say, and a lot of guys are stepping up. Amari Hunter, rising senior, uh, Jarmon, just a lot of the young guys, freshmen, upcoming. I mean, they're just really working hard. Without the coaches too, we go to the field. Uh, just a lot of guys are stepping up to the plate and just ready to play.
I would say for us, the biggest thing, again, as a first year head coach, you're learning the kids while you're installing everything. At this point, we know these kids, well, we do a lot together, obviously practicing, but they'll come in and sit in the office and we'll talk and, all those things that I'm sure everybody here is doing. But, like I said, we know these guys now. We know what they can do well, what they can't do well. We know how to put them in the best position possible. But I would say the confidence in them, but also the confidence that they have in us as a coaching staff has gone up exponentially as well.
To the players very quickly, this will be my final question for you all. Let's talk a little bit about the all season and what you've done personally to get yourselves prepared to have a successful season coming up.
Just getting more familiar with the playbook, understanding it, just learning how to read defenses more, and just get more familiar with the receivers because we relied on a lot, like on our senior last year, Kirk Brown, and just getting to know the receivers upcoming and just bonding with them and seeing what we can do.
I just been learning how to communicate, become a better athlete, and bond with my teammates.
So if we have no more questions, that's the Pirates of Perquimans. Coach Rapinick, thank you so much for bringing the team. Good luck this season. Bring to the stage right now the Knights of Riverside Martin. The Knights 11-2 last season, 6-1 overall, 6-1 in the conference, 11-2 overall, an outstanding season. Coach, thank you so much for being a part of the Media Day event. Talk a little bit about last season. A lot of success out there on the field, and got to feel pretty confident about the team going into this season.
Thank you for having us today. I'm Mike Sartain, new head football coach. It's actually now Martin County Schools football. We're no longer Riverside and South Creek. We've actually combined into one program, and so it's a unique experience, completely different, really, from the previous season. And I can speak on Riverside was 11-2. Yeah, they had a great season. They were a heavy senior team. Lost a lot of players to graduation. And South Creek, the other program that we have consolidated with, they were 0-11. But we've had some good players come over, specifically my man right here, Tavon Lee, called a Rabbit. He was an all-conference player at South Creek. Their quarterback, he was a safety, basically an outside linebacker, led them in tackles. And then on the far right is Justin Webb. He was a all-conference offensive lineman for Riverside. And they're both rising seniors, and they're both going to anchor our team this year.
And with the consolidation, obviously, when you have seniors that can lead the team, how important is that for the success this season and going forward when you have that senior leadership?
Their senior leadership is crucial to our success. You got two different programs coming from two completely different backgrounds. One 11-2, the other one 0-11. So these two teams have to come together and learn. Number one, they have to learn each other. They have to meet each other because they haven't been together. And they also have to come together and learn how to win, learn how to practice, learn how to compete together. So their leadership is very important to that, especially with everything being brand new.
Yeah. To the players, I'll ask you this question again. With the two schools coming together, this off season has been really, really important. And he talked a little bit about the chemistry and trying to build that. How has that been this off season, and what have you done this off season personally to help that transition be better and successful?
It's been good. We've been getting along good. Everybody been coming together. Me personally, I've been working on footwork, just being a better leader, just being just being motivational to the players around me.
Coming together as a team was really important. And me personally, I've been fighting a knee injury. So like hopefully I'm straight by the time we start hitting. Yeah.
Coach, as you talk about go ahead.
Yeah, I want to speak on Rabbit for 1 second. He is a jack of all trades. He plays quarterback. He was their South Creek's quarterback last year. They ran basically triple option, but it was pretty much his show. Dive follow and him making lots of plays. And for me, so far, he's been running back, quarterback, wing back, slot, safety. He's a phenomenal athlete. And Big Justin is gonna be a beast this year. He's a big force as an offensive tackle, and he's probably gonna play some nose. So you can see my man's 350 pounds. You better double team him. I'm just saying.
Coach, with the consolidation, obviously you talked about it. The camaraderie between the players has been very, very important. What else has been taking place this off season, especially with the coaching staff and trying to get all of that together? It's a lot, but I know that you all have done the best that you possibly can. Talk a little bit about how this off season has been really for the coaching staff.
Well, let me see. The off season has been. I was named the head coach at Riverside in early May. And then our new superintendent, she's been amazing, trying to improve Martin County overall. And she started an early college, which is going to be great for our county overall. And then she decided to consolidate the two schools for athletics this year. With that, I don't have an assistant. I don't have a staff. I am the staff. So if y'all know anybody, defensive coordinators, I'm looking for a defensive coordinator. But yeah, so that's the truth. We have been it's been a whirlwind, busing students from Riverside to South Creek for a week of workouts, busing students from South Creek over to Riverside for workouts. We've been in the weight room as much as we can get in there, and it's been a very unique experience. I've been a part of building two programs from scratch during my years coaching, and this one has been a lot different just because of a lot of the dynamics of trying to bring two schools together from opposite ends of the county, pretty much. We have teaching positions available, and I actually have a middle school PE spot, so. Got lots of stuff going on in Martin County, and it's exciting.
Yeah. I'll open it up to the media. If you have any questions, you can ask it now.
Prove people wrong and just get better as a team. Just come together and see and prove that one team can come together, like one county can come together.
I'm just ready to hit.
Our motto this year on the back of Tavon's shirt is one team, one dream, and that's us coming together as Martin County. I know this first year is going to be unique, But our goals will be and always will be conference regional states. Those are our goals as a team and a program on the field. Outside of that, we want to produce excellent young men who are great community members and representations of Martin County, their families, our community, our churches. Our goal is to produce wonderful young men in the future. No, we don't have a mascot. We are black and silver. We took the silver from Riverside. We took the black from South Creek, and we got a block M that I can send out, but it just says Martin on it. And during the off season, they're going to vote and work on a mascot. There's some things being talked about that are really exciting, but it's going to be a community vote and brought to the board. But we will be silver and black. So. I am super excited. I came here. I've been in Fayetteville area for the last 7 years. Jack Britt, Southview, Hoke, and we're going to be extremely diverse on offense. I've been at 4A level the last 7 years, and this is probably the biggest offensive line I've had. So that's exciting. I got a lot of skill athletes, got a lot of speed. We're very young. I've had a total of 60 players come out to work out so far this summer, and that have come at least one day. I've been averaging around 45 or so the last few weeks, pretty much, and we only have 12 seniors. So we're very, very heavy on the freshmen, sophomores. Our middle school, Riverside Middle School specifically, has been undefeated the last 2 years. And so I'm really excited about the future of the program. That was part of what drew me there. Plus, I talked to some coaches on previous staff, and Hale Robinson, I've known him for years, or met him many, many years ago. So schematically, I like more people with in 2-point stances running to the football on defense. Then it will be in a 3-4 up front. I got 2 great safeties, Rabbit and Killebrew. Killebrew was a freshman last year for Riverside. He led the team in tackles, and he's a sophomore this year. So I got two really, really good safeties. And we're very athletic. We're very athletic. Offensively, we'll base out of the wing tee, but we're not always in the wing tee.
Real quick, Coach, from our YouTube channel, my fellow buddy Owen asked a question. He says, with players throughout the county, how did you or how do you create a new identity that brings everyone together? And you talked a little bit about that, about what you've done in the off season, but how do you make that happen?
What was the question?
I was just saying, how do you create a new identity that brings everybody together? So how do you go about that process, even outside of what you've already done during the off season?
Just, I guess, hanging with each other out of school, just creating a bond and stuff.
One thing we're gonna obviously have team meals together. We've been working a lot in the weight room together, and I think the bonding will come over time when you put in the work and the sweat on the field and in the weight room. We'll come together through that. It's really been exciting because there hasn't been any kind of South Creek versus Riverside stuff. It's been good so far.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And so, again, Coach, thank you so much for bringing the players. Don't have a mascot yet, but I'm sure it's coming. So we'll say that's Martin. Thank you all for showing up, and we appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to bring up the Panthers of Washington County.
I'd like to say good morning to everybody. Glad to be here and appreciate the invite.
Coach Ben James, thank you so much for bringing the team. Obviously, not the season that Washington County wanted last season. Talk a little bit about what you've learned from last season that'll help you to get the success you're looking for this season.
Yeah, last season we kind of beat ourselves a lot. We was a very undisciplined team, and that's one of my main goals. I'm a disciplinarian. I think that's the foundation. I don't care how much talent you have, how great a coach you are. If your team is not disciplined, you're gonna find yourself losing a lot of games that you should win, and that's a life lesson. And that's basically what I teach. People ask me my system. I said I'm not a system coach. I coach life lessons because, like, piggyback off some of you other coaches, we're not just coaching football, but we're coaching life, trying to transform these young men, these young boys into young men.
Coach, obviously, this season you work in the off season to get yourselves prepared for the new season. Talk a little bit about how the work off season has been for the players and the coaching staff.
Well, Coach Dale was here previously, but he left in March. So it kind of put our program in a limbo. Actually worked with Coach Dale last year, and I decided to step into the position, and I accepted the position in May. So we was kind of a little bit behind the curve a little bit, but the summer went well. The guys worked hard. We've been in the weight room trying to install my system and get the players acclimated to what the expectations are.
You have a few student athletes with you. If you could introduce them.
To my right, near right is Tajay Williams. He's a rising junior, left tackle. To the far right is Jacquay Brown, my middle linebacker and fullback.
I'd like to open it up to the media and the people here in attendance. If you have a question, you can ask it now.
Thank you. The main goal is to be disciplined. We found ourselves we probably was the most penalized team in the state last year. We lost a lot of games we should have won, but the turning point came against Tarboro. They kicked us around pretty good, but I saw something in the guys that I knew we were gonna have a pretty good playoff run. We ended up losing in the second round to West Columbus, but we was up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So that was a game that we should have won.
With that type of experience, Coach, how does that resonate with the players for this upcoming season? Obviously, you say you saw a few things. Have you seen that? Have you seen it click in the players? Did they see the same thing that you all saw? And do you see that boding well for the team coming up this season?
Yeah, that's what we're building on. They saw it. After that game, I saw the turnaround. We went into the first round playing an opponent that had beat us in the regular season, and we went into their house and beat them. And, we're going to build on that. We ain't going to lay down for nobody.
To the players, have a quick question off of the YouTube channel. And I guess this is really focused on the off season so far, what you have seen. What type of growth have you seen from your other teammates? And really, what growth have you seen in yourselves this off season that'll help you for the upcoming season?
I'll say as a team, we grew in the weight room, getting stronger and stuff. And I see that, most kids are dedicated, the younger football players and stuff. As a goal for myself, it was more so getting stronger, getting faster, and getting ready to compete.
We do a lot of conditioning, working hard in the off season, staying in the weight room, getting stronger, working as a team to get better, pushing yourself to pushing each other to get better every day. Uh, we hoping this year to have a better record than last year, make it farther in the playoffs. Uh,
We're gonna move with confidence, confident in every team we play against, every down, every snap, every quarter. He said that.
Yeah, what stands out to you about what do you all think,
Oh,
Coach James? What
his coaching style, his way to push us to be better every day.
he definitely teaches us how to be disciplined, how to stay humble, work, grind, all of that.
question in the back?
I'll say stay hydrated, make sure you're eating right, stay on a healthy diet if you can. I'll say bring more people out, bring more awareness to Washington County, bring more fans, bring more attention.
Yeah, the community is very important, obviously, to Washington County. So again, Coach, thank you so much. The Washington County, the Panthers of Washington County, thank you so much for coming. And I tell you what, we are expecting good things from you this season, Coach. Continue to do what you're doing, and it seems like the players are taking in everything that you're teaching them right now. So we're
Appreciate
looking
that.
forward. Good luck for the season coming
All
up.
right, thank you, sir.
Well, that will conclude this year's NENC High School Football Media Day. Again, we want to thank the media. Obviously, without the media, this event can't happen. We want to thank all of the student athletes and the coaches for bringing the teams here. We look forward to the season upcoming here in Northeastern North Carolina. Good luck to each and every one of you. For the media, if you would like to grab the players and coaches for interviews and pictures, you may do that at this time. We want to thank everyone who watched on the live stream on our YouTube channel. We appreciate that support. And again, good luck to everyone here. Looking forward to the season.